Just making a video on house robber 3 problem. Here we have to tell if how much money a robber can rob, how much maximum amount of money a robber can rob without informing police. And the only constraint we have is two directly connected nodes cannot be robbed. So if root is robbed, its children cannot be robbed, otherwise police will be informed. So okay, so with that constraint in mind, let's think about the solution. So we have a let's define a helper function. Okay, and in that helper function we're gonna return an int array as a return type. Let's do the return type over here. Okay, return type res. Okay, and int res is equal to new int 2. Now we're also gonna get a root, so tree node root. Okay, so now what we do next is this: if root is equal to null, then return res result, basically just empty, right? Can't do anything. Otherwise, if root does exist, so we want to know what happens on my left side, right? So what happened on my left side is helper go, please get me the result for root.left. Okay, tell me what happened on my left side. Also tell me what happened on my right side. Okay, sorry, all right. Okay, so now we got the result from our left and right side. Now it's time for us to create our own result. Okay, so you are the root. Okay, so now you have to create two items: res 0, result of 0. This is if the root is not robbed. Okay, yeah, if root is not robbed. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, that means my left and right can be robbed, right? So let's find the maximum money you can get by robbing left. So left will allow 0 and left will allow 1. Okay, because let's first write it down and then we can talk. Method max and then right of 0, right. Okay, so what we're doing here is my root is not going to get robbed. Okay, so we're skipping, we're not choosing root, so that means you can rob left and right. Okay, but now what happens if you not rob left node, and if you rob left node, what's the maximum of that? Similarly, what if you rob left, what if you rob right and you didn't rob right? Okay, and now let's do result 1. Now this is if root is in fact robbed. If root is robbed, then you got your you have to have that value, and then you have you have to take the value of what happens when left wasn't robbed. I mean, what happens as in the amount of money when right isn't robbed and left isn't robbed. And that's your answer there. And then once you have that, you return that. And so let's call our helper. The helper is root. We're gonna have to call root, and it's gonna return a result, and we have to return math.max of res of result of 0 and result 1. Okay, and if root is equal to null, we're gonna have to return oops, sorry. If there's nothing to rob, we will make 0 money, right? So that's that case. So let's see what happens for this situation. 3 2 3 3 1. Okay, let's do a dry run. So you're at 3, okay. So root it's called, okay. So you go to the left, so 2. You go to the left again, but nothing happens. So you're at 2 right now. The left is empty, and then you go to the right, and from the right you get 3, and so now you're at 3, and 3 is a leaf node, so left and right are going to be empty. So but the 3 will have this reach 0 will be almost 0, and then erase 1 will be 3, okay. In fact, if root is robbed, so now that will be returned to the right side of 2, so this will be 3, okay. Now if root is not robbed, so if 2 is not robbed, then max of left 1, left 0, left 1, that is already 0, and right 0 and right 1. So on the right side, I think if it was not robbed, it was 0, and if it was robbed, it was 3. So the raise 0 is 3, and raise 1 is 2. So basically we return 2 and 3, okay. And the 1 was if root is robbed, and that was 2. So we have to remember that we just sent 3 and 2, correct, if root is not robbed. Alright, so now we have solution for left side on the 3. Now go to the right side. It'll similarly be if root is not robbed, 1, and if root is robbed, 3. That kind of array. And now you have, your left, and this is your right. And now you're gonna, at this point, you're math.max, because you want to decide if the root is not robbed. You're gonna take the left 3, so that will be 3 plus right 0, right 1, 3, that will be 6. So if root is not robbed, it's going to be 6, correct. And if root is robbed, it's going to be root val, which is 3 plus left 0 and right 0. So the left 0 was 3 and 1. 3 plus 1, right? That becomes 7. So that's your answer here. So we're returning 6 and 7, and the max is 7. That's the answer. So I think this will work. Let's see. Okay, what is incompatible types? Oh yeah, we have to make it an array. Awesome. Thank you guys.